What is up, everyone? And what is up to all 1,893 of y'all? Okay, so to clarify, the last weekly vlog I had was 17. It was 1,700, and now it's 1,893. I now I'm not much for book learning, but I do know math enough math to know that that's almost 200 more subscribers than I had a week ago, and I can't think. I can't thank y'all enough for just being able to just give me a chance. This is mind blowing. This is I did not I wow I did not think that it was actually even possible to get this much support at this short amount of time. I did not know this. This is very good, and I really appreciate y'all for doing this for. Oh my God! Wow, this is beautiful. Um, Obviously, in the past week, I recently learned that somebody who is very important to me is no longer with me, and it's been taking me some time to actually like process that and to be able to sort of try to make sense of it and everything like that. And like I said, I never got the call, but I did get a confirmation, and it dawned on me that obviously in the little short that I did the other like literally just a couple of hours ago, roughly, um, I got a chance to show that professional wrestling is definitely my happy place. These past couple of days, I've actually been in a really sad place, a really sad mental state, because of his death, among other things, and just being able to go to the wrestling arena. And first off, I didn't like. First off, I'm there because I'm one of the trainees, and because I'm one of the trainees, I actually had to help out with the show. So I'm cleaning up equipment. I'm cleaning up equipment. I'm watching the back door. I'm moving stuff around. I'm bringing people in. I'm checking people's tickets at the door and stuff like that, which I honestly hope that I never get to do again because that is complicated. I do not envy like ticket checking people. I do not envy those folks in the least. Like there was a little announcement before the show even started, and it was like, yeah, these types of shows, because of what day it is and things like that, they don't really get like packed like that. So it's like, so just be sure to like let everybody know about it because they don't really get that much. The place was most like the place. It had a ridiculously big attendance. Okay, every seat was filled. All right, so it's like, Kevin, please do not lie to me like that ever again. But while I was in there watching the show, um, I kept thinking about Cameron. I just kept thinking, Cameron would have loved this. This was a good move. Cameron did that to me once. Like every other move that happened, I just found myself saying, because you have to think, we and Cameron knew each other like for maybe 16, 17 years. I've known him before I got this before I got this channel. I've known him before I got my other channel, which is strictly about me wrestling. And it's still like, and I'm watching it. And normally when I mourn, or rather, when I mourn, I'm very sad about it. It hurts. Like the feeling hurts. Losing my grandmother was painful for me, and I had a really hard time just like moving and processing at work. And my manager saw it, so I found myself, and but in this instance with Cameron, I go over and I watch wrestling, and all I'm thinking about is Cam would have liked that. That move right there, I remember Cam doing that to me. It's like, whoa! I wonder what Cam would have said about that. I just found myself just remembering him, like not missing him, not wishing he was still here, even though I do wish he was still here. But I just remember just remembering him, all the good memories we had, and we had plenty of them. So and it just made me think to myself, it motivated me more to become a wrestler just because I get a chance to, like when I become a wrestler, like now everything, like now if I win a championship, I can say I won it for Cam. You know, I can win a championship, point to the sky, and say this was for you. I actually do plan on. Fun fact about me wrestling: I actually don't like doing the whole lifting on your shoulders move. Like, you know, I kind of I prefer lifting people like, you know, high up, but like lifting on the shoulders, not that big of a thing for me because it's because it feels just so retro. It feels so old. You know what I'm saying? And I always like the new stuff. The thing that got me into wrestling was doing the backflips and stuff like that. So just, you know, you know what I'm saying, that it's just a little it's a little outdated to me. But Cam loved that stuff. So now I have another move that I have to do when I start wrestling, and it's the Cam Slam, because he used to give me the Death Valley Driver, drop me straight on my head, and now I got to do it. This was for you, Cameron. Yeah, I'm talking about him a lot because, yeah, like I said, you know, going to wrestling, like I said, because wrestling got me out of a lot of dark places. Like, if not for me pursuing wrestling, I probably wouldn't have done all the stuff that I'm doing right now. I probably would have just been stagnant. I probably would have just worked at a gas station back in Baton Rouge and just had a woulda, shoulda, coulda moment. You know what I mean? Whereas now, every single crazy decision I've ever made was in fact dedicated to, if not linked to, wrestling in some fashion. Me being here is because I want to be a professional wrestler. It's something that motivates me. It keeps me going. One of the big reasons why I keep my YouTube, active is because I want to be able to chronicleize my journey before I become a wrestler, so I could go back and go, yeah, that was definitely a tough time. I remember that. That was bad. That was bad. It's just one of those things that you kind of have to take. It's like one of those things I kind of want to own a little bit. I want to be able to I want to be able to look back on my life and say, this is what led me here. This is what got me to this point. It's not a day that doesn't go by where, you know, like I just like I said, wrestling is more than just something that I watched on TV as a kid. It's something that I would like to do, and something I've tried to do, and something I've attempted, and something that I want to excel in, because it's one of those things that I can easily say that I'm at least moderately good at. And it's very frustrating to know that, you know, there's a possibility. There's always a possibility of it not happening, but until that possibility comes into fruition, I'm going to at least try. And I feel like that's something that, as a society, we all need to do. As a society, we need to stop thinking that because we won't do something perfectly the first time, we just shouldn't do it. You stumbled before you started walking. You probably coughed a lot, choked a lot on your food before you started eating correctly. You probably started drawing weird little squiggles before you started writing. You're always gonna screw up the first thing that you've done. You always, like, the first thing you do is you're always gonna look back at the first thing you did and either go, this is the best work I've ever done and nothing will ever top it, or this is the worst thing I ever made and I'm glad I got better. You're always gonna have something about, like, if there's one thing I've learned is that we as a society, we're very ashamed of ourselves. We're very ashamed of ourselves, and we want that shame to kind of like be felt by others. You know what I'm saying? We want people to feel the same shame for themselves that we feel for ourselves. And that's why we mock people. That's why we tell people, you shouldn't be doing this thing that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You actually suck at life because you shouldn't do nothing that you want to do because you're going to do it terribly. And I'm not going to like it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then you do it. Then you do something that you like. If you can't make anything that you like, you can't tell me what I like. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to make anything that you like. You can't even make anything that you like. I can't impress you. You can't even impress yourself. You know, it's a weird time to live in. I'm an old man. I have a Bell's palsy. That's why when I blink, one of my eyes don't fully close. I have to smash down that sucker. You know, I got, you know, you could tell on my face. But what you also can tell is that, like, I'm willing to go as hard as I need to go to for as long as it takes for me to get something that I want and or need. I have dreams, I have goals, I have aspirations. And despite everything that has been placed in front of me, I'm still going for it. And I like to think that, like, if I can go for something for as long as I've been going after it, despite every single thing that's came my way, I like to think that, you know, for somebody else who who got it a little bit easier should be able to do it relatively, do the same thing that they do, something that they want to do relatively quickly. Like, what's stopping y'all from just, like, I asked this in my thing, but it's like, what's stopping y'all? Like, how are you on YouTube with no content? Like, none. No content. Like, you're just on here specifically just telling everybody else what they should be doing with their content, but you have nothing. But I could respect those guys. I could respect the people who don't have content because of the fact that, hey, at the very least, you know that at least you understand, you're willing to you're actually willing to make your own stuff. Then there's people who get big from taking somebody else's content and then, like, just making it theirs. So, like, like, for me, I look down on that because there's a lack of creativity there. My entire channel, for the most part, my entire channel is mostly me. Every so often, I may put in music made by other people. I may refer to things that other people have done, but for the most part, it's just me sitting in front of the camera and talking, or it's just me in general. Everything you see here is usually is mostly me oriented. I'm very self-centered, I know, but I mean, what else is the channel going to be about, right? But the fact of the matter is that, like, for the time, you know, that I like, you know, but, you know, like, whether or not you like my content or do, it's the fact that you know what you're getting when you come to my content. You're getting me. You're not getting me and something else. You're not getting me and someone else. You're not really getting you can go into my content and never expect to see, you know, a content creator who has like 1 million views and there's a little snippet of me, like there's a snippet of that stuff on my channel. You ain't got to worry about that. I'm a regular guy. I'm just talking. We don't need to shame each other for trying to go the distance with things that we need to do. We should be uplifting each other. We should be helping each other out. Like how you guys are helping me out, I feel like we should all, like, as a society, we should all be helping each other out like that. Lifting each other up, bringing each other up. You know what I mean? Well, you bring down Republicans a lot. You bring down Trump supporters a lot. Yes, because I think that they're brain dead sociopaths who want to genuinely hurt people because they've been duped into it. And I want to just go ahead and take this time and talk about this too. I realize now I don't hate Republicans. I just feel bad for them because it feels like at this point now the Klansmen are taking off the mask and telling you that they're Klansmen. And you're still like, well, I mean, at least I know what I'm getting with those guys, you know? But it's like, but you're still getting something bad. Like, I really don't like the fact that in this day and age, we can't, like, you know, we correlate cruelty with honesty. And because we correlate cruelty with honesty, we perpetuate this idea that people who are cruel and mean and a bunch of bullies and the people who are just, like, you know, they're honest. At least they're honest with who they are, and that makes them good people. And it's like, but they're not good people. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody was out here, if there was somebody out here who was just robbing people, right? If somebody was just out here just robbing people, but they didn't rob you, but they're telling you that they're robbing everybody else, you're going to seriously sit here and tell me, well, at least he's honest about what he's doing. We should just let him continue robbing people. You wouldn't think that way. You would be upset that that's happening. You would try to find a way to make sure that that person who's robbing everybody else don't rob you, right? You're not going to be like, well, I mean, like, he tells it like it is. He's doing what he's doing. There's nothing that we can do about it, so let's just make it. No, you will be trying to make sure that this dude does not rob you next. And in the process of you trying to make sure that he don't rob you, you're possibly going to find a way to try to make sure you're essentially making sure that he doesn't rob anyone else, because everybody else who hasn't gotten robbed by him is going to look at you and go, you know what, I should do what that guy's doing. I don't like this idea of cruelty being like correlated with honesty. There's this mesh there, and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I think cruelty is actually the dumbest thing. Honestly, I think that cruelty is like really dumb, because I judge knowledge by usefulness, and by stuff like usefulness and like how many people you help. If, for example, if you help yourself and hurt other people, I don't think you're smart. I think you're good at preserving yourself, but I don't think you're very smart. But if you can help yourself and help other people, because you got to really take into consideration a lot of the technology we use is technology that helps out other people, like on a wide scale. This YouTube right here, this is something that everybody essentially uses, or everybody can use. The most important things that we have are things that are accessible to everyone, because we don't really care that much about exclusive stuff. Who here eats caviar? Raise your hand if you eat caviar. Now raise your hand if you eat McDonald's. Raise your hand if you go everywhere by helicopter. Now raise your hand if you drive a car. You see what I'm saying? Something that's accessible to everyone. Like, I'm not going to think that I'm not going to think that the helicopter is better than a car, because I can't afford a helicopter, but I have a car. I'm not going to be like, yeah, but the helicopter is so much better. I'm not going to care about no helicopter. I can't afford one. I'm not going to think that somebody who is cruel is better than somebody who isn't cruel, because of the fact that I can't afford to be around a cruel person. That person is going to hurt me. A kind person, I would rather be around a kind person who is dumb as hell than a mean person who isn't, because that kind person is, you could teach that kind person some stuff because they're cool enough to learn it. A mean person who is a mean genius, you can't tell them nothing. You're gonna seriously sit here and tell me that you can list off all the cube roots in reverse order from the number 1000, and you also gonna tell me that like Haitians are eating cats? Does that sound like a smart person to you? The moment that you become a bigoted bully, you could be the smartest person on the planet. I'm going to think you're an idiot. And the thing is that like a lot of people be like, oh, you're smart. You know, it's like, actually, no, being smart is being able to retain information. Now shut up. That's all I'm saying though, man. It's just like there's a lot that goes into this stuff, man. I lost my place. I forgot where I was going with this. But we do need to but it does, like how you guys are actually helping me out and coming to my channel and listening to what I have to say and doing all this stuff. Like, granted, I still get the occasional troll from time to time, because I mean, there's going to be somebody who's going to look at my videos where I talk bad about Republicans and be like, he mocked us. You know what this means? Load up the N-word bombs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very obvious that that's going to happen. But for the majority of y'all that haven't, I can't help but say thank you, and I really appreciate your support. And I can't help but like, you know, just be happy that y'all are here. And yeah, like I said, I'm not happy, right? I'm not gonna say I'm not happy, but I'm still trying to just sort of handle what's happening, because a lot has happened. You know, I'm getting all these subscribers. My account got monetized. My friends did. I'm behind on some bills, but thankfully I work today, so I'll be able to at least work towards getting some of that taken care of. Also, I feel like my bills is getting better. I really don't like what it did to my lips, but you know, I mean, like, I hope that this is temporary, because I don't like the idea of my lips like tilting to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm glad that I can still smile, and I'm glad I can still move my face better, but you know, this whole blinking with only one eye thing is just not fun. If you made it to this part of the video, how you doing? do a little something below. Let me know how it's going. I'll respond or get a like, give you a like or something. That way, that I crave interaction. But also, don't just tell me how you're doing. Tell me something interesting about yourself. I want to know who you are. If you care to disclose who you are, you know what I'm saying. I would like to get to know you. Like once again, you guys are more than just my viewers. You're more than just you're more than just like my viewers and stuff like that. You're people, and I think that all of you are just as interesting as you probably might think I am. So, if you can, just leave a comment below. Let's talk. What's something interesting about you? I'll probably have to talk back to y'all after work though, so I gotta go get ready. But not before I shoot this other video of something I just remembered.